Hello, this is Ronja. Hello, everybody on EnglobeMe and all my lovely blissful bells. This is Ronja. I'm finally coming live on Facebook. I'm finally giving this a try. So, as you can see, I have my own limitations to overcome, like we all do, and I'm stepping up. And I hope that all of you can take courage and inspiration from this and actually start taking care of whatever obstacles you might perceive in your life too, and just go ahead and tackle them one at a time. So today I just wanted to talk about something that a client mentioned to me the other day. She asked me if I could see if she was doing better, and I was a bit confused by the question. I wasn't quite sure if she wanted me to use my clairvoyance and my clairsentience, as a psychic, to tune into her and then tell her how she was doing in her life or not. But then I realized it doesn't really matter, because that is such a subjective question to ask. Even if I thought that, in comparison to the state that she was in when I worked with her, she was doing much better, she might have a different outlook on life depending on how her day is going that particular day. So who am I to say that she's doing better? And I tried to remind her of that, and it came to me really that it's so important, which is something that we don't always do, to actually journal every day and kind of take notes on how we really feel, what happened during the day, how we responded, how on a scale from 0 to 10, for instance, we felt about a particular issue, if we were able to deal with it in a different way that is more responsive rather than reactive. Do we react out of our pain body, our defensive mechanisms that we have accumulated during the day or during our lives? Or are we actually able to stay centered and come from a place of inner peace and love for ourselves, and just have some sort of distance that way, and can deal with the situation in a much more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say detached way, but in a way detached, because we're not so much personally involved anymore, because we know our peace inside. And that is very, very subjective. That's not something you can necessarily ask your healer or your coach. Obviously, when I work with you, I will have you fill out scales so that you can actually see the progress over time. But it's also important for you individually to measure how you do every day, so that you can actually see that you're making progress, or that you can start recognizing areas in your life where you would like to make more progress, and can then maybe set different goals for your life as well. For instance, since it's still the beginning of January, what are your goals for this year? Are they the big ones that most people have, like I want to lose 30 pounds and then in February they give up? Or do you actually have one big goal and have little goals, steps along the way figured out, so that you can actually reach those little goals, step by step? It's like a little ladder that you have to walk up on. And have you broken down your goal, your big goal, into feasible, manageable steps? Because most of us fail because we don't really know how to get to the big end goal. And that is overwhelming. Just thinking of it is so overwhelming that we want to give up, and most of us do. That's why I don't even set New Year's resolutions. I know where I want to be at any given point in life, in my life, and then I take action steps towards that goal. I do that on a daily basis, so I don't actually wait for New Year's, but I do realize that New Year's is a good time to reevaluate and start anew, and because it has a lot of hope in it, obviously, and new beginnings are always good. Evaluation of goals. Another important thing about New Year's resolutions is to forgive yourself for not being where you would like to be. I believe that a lot of our feeling of overwhelm and feeling incapacitated really by the sheer amount of work that it seems to take to get to our end goal, just based on the fact that we haven't even forgiven ourselves for being where we are at the moment. We are so disappointed in the life that we created. Let's just stick to the weight issue, simply because that's what I started with. We're disappointed that we are not the size that we'd like to be. We kind of hate ourselves for not being able to resist the chocolate. We don't want to forgive ourselves because we think we should. We should eat less. We should exercise more. We should look different. We should fit in the bikini. This shooting all over ourselves is really not helpful because it creates all this negative energy and emotion in us that then takes energy away from actually reaching our goal. The positive emotion, the positive energy that propels us forward in a positive way. This also, of course, plays into the law of attraction. If you've ever heard of it at all, we attract what we focus on. So if we focus on all the things that we should do but are clearly not doing, but it gives us negative emotion, we attract more things that give us negative emotions. And so if you break your bigger goal down to smaller steps that are actually feasible, and you start feeling good about them, like start small. Again, I'm on the weight issue simply because it's easy right now. Instead of saying, well, I shouldn't eat chocolate, phrase it more positively. Say instead, I would like to eat an apple instead of chocolate. Okay, so how can we break this down even further? It's not like you eat huge amounts of chocolate a day, probably. And instead of radically altering your diet, which is a bit of a shock to the system on all sorts of levels, and most people don't manage to keep that up for long anyway, how about just exchanging one chocolate bar with one apple a day? It's a feasible step. It makes you feel much less resistance about it than changing your whole diet around. And then once you've actually managed that goal and you feel comfortable with eating an apple or any kind of fruit really instead of that chocolate bar, and you don't even have to think about it anymore because it's ingrained in your day, in your life, then you can move on to the next step. And this is how you actually get further and further along. Then you have more things to feel good about. You have less things to forgive yourself for. And you're actually well on your way to reaching your goal. So, and in order to measure those steps, write down how you feel about them. Actually have a scale from 0 to 10. 0 being the lowest feeling, 10 being the best feeling. How do I feel about my eating behavior today? Or how do I feel about my step 1, which is exchanging the apple for the chocolate bar today? Was it difficult? Did it feel rough? What? Just write it all down, and then you can actually measure the progress over time, and you have something to be proud of then as well. It's going to give you more fuel to stick to it. All right, so since this was just a little trial of how Facebook Live actually works, and if my phone is capable of doing it because it's getting old, I'm going to conclude right here, unless I have any comments from my 2 viewers. Who are they? Sevki Sevda. Do you have any comments by any chance that you'd like me to comment on? Or Jason, hi. You're watching, thank you. If you have anything to ask or comment that I can answer, then please go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I will sign out before my cough is taking over again. All right. Well, you can always leave comments afterwards, after it's posted, and then I'll answer them there. Please share if you get anything out of this. I'll also share this video to my Blissful Bells group, and then I'll talk to you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye, and Happy New Year.